There's so much happening during this time, during this process, during this period to your body. A lot of it seems very confusing because your body is going through a process that it's never gone through before. So everything seems new and everything can be alarming.
Menopause has long been shrouded in secrecy, leaving many clueless, ashamed, and embarrassed to seek and extend support for one of the most natural transitions and rite of passage. Well, the spirit and mood have changed. People are surrendering to curiosity, knowledge, and empowerment. In this podcast, I'll share my own experiences and point of view, peek into the lifestyle and self-care practices of people experiencing menopause, and tap experts for their take on the pausal phase. This is for you if you are one of the millions of people in the menopausal phase or want to support them. I'm Dixie Lincoln Nichols, health and well-being educator and wellness founder. This is the Pause Pod.
Hey, my loves, thank you for joining me again for another episode of the Pause Pod. Welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. Today I'm talking about ways to alleviate or ease suffering as a result of menopause. Let's face it, many people are suffering through the process for a myriad of reasons. And there are also people suffering because they don't have support. They don't know who to talk to. Their bodies are changing. Their bodies feel different. They are experiencing sensations that are unfamiliar and they're not sure what to do, who to turn to. Yes, it's still happening in this day and age. Imagine what our ancestors went through. And of course, I don't want you to think that everybody goes through menopause or the menopausal process, be it perimenopause or postmenopause, in a negative way. Some people sail through the process. Perimenopause, postmenopause, not a problem, not a big deal. And then some people go through a lot of changes that can bring lots of discomfort and lots of suffering. So it's a spectrum, and you just never know where you're going to land on the spectrum. However, there are things that people can do to ease suffering. And so it's up to individuals to seek out the resources that are out there so that they can bring ease to themselves and bring harmony to their bodies by being proactive. So, without further ado, let's talk about 5 things that can be done to alleviate or ease the suffering that some experience during menopause. So, I love this. It's one of my fave things to do. I started doing this during my coaching practice many years ago, and I did it with myself, and it works, and it worked with a lot of my clients as well. So it's something that I practice on an ongoing process, and it's something that I highly recommend that you consider as a part of your process when it comes to navigating this menopause journey and bringing some ease into your life. Practice AAA. AAA, not the car company. Practice AAA, awareness, acceptance, and action. Be in awareness of the symptoms that you are experiencing. I know many of us experience symptoms and we sort of chuck it to the side. We want to believe that it's not there because it's uncomfortable. It might feel like a pain in the ass. And so we are like, I'm not dealing with you today. And therefore, if you chuck it aside, it's not there. It's not going anywhere. You're putting it out of your mind, but it's staying with your body and it's going to keep rising up until you are forced to pay attention. Now, you want to pay attention when things are going smoothly as opposed to waiting until things get out of hand and trying to pay attention then. Save yourself the trouble. And when sensations arise in your body, physical sensation, physical changes, write them down, document them, pay attention. Be in awareness. Know that they are there. Don't disregard them. So, whether those changes are hot flashes, lack of focus, gum issues, eye problems, dryness of the skin, whatever the symptoms are, be in awareness of them, because when you are in awareness, it makes it easier to navigate. So, awareness is important when managing menopausal symptoms, when navigating the menopausal transition. Accept what those changes are. Accepting them doesn't mean that you don't have to do anything about it. Accept that these changes are occurring. So if you are having hot flashes, if you are having headaches, if you are having heart palpitations, if you are having dry skin or experiencing dry skin, if you are experiencing dry eyes or indigestion or altered spatial awareness or whatever the menopausal symptom is, accept that a change is happening to your body. When you have accepted that changes are happening in your body, you fully accepted changes are happening in your body, it makes it easier to take action, to put a plan together, to seek out help, to find a way to navigate what's happening so that you bring ease and alleviate as much suffering as possible. Of course, you are going to take action on the things that are in your control. So, some things you have no control over, you can release those and focus on the things that you can control in your life. The second thing is practice self care. My definition of self care is anything that you do to nourish your mind, body, or spirit is considered self care. Anything, anything that you do to nourish your mind, your body, or your spirit is self care. So every day, you give your body what it needs to support you, to support your mind, your body, and your spirit. You may not do something to support all three every day. For some people, that may be too tall of a task. But if you do something to support one area, maybe your body physically by eating well or moving your body, or if you do something to support your mind, kindness, having a good thought, organizing your thoughts, doing something to move your body from a chaotic state to a state of calm, and also your spirit, doing something to uplift your spirit, having a spiritual practice or or a mindfulness practice or something like that would definitely benefit your body. So self-care is anything again that supports your mind or nourishes your mind, body, and spirit. Self care looks different for everyone. And of course, you have to be in awareness. Here comes awareness, acceptance, and action. You have to be in awareness of what your body needs, be in acceptance of what it needs, and take action to give it. So if you know you need to walk some more, accept that that's something that you need to do and walk. Plan your walks if you have to. Treadmill, outside, whatever, plan it, do it. Number three, seek out support from somewhere, someone, some people, many people, whomever. Seek out support. Support is crucial during the menopausal process. There are a lot of things that we don't know. We are not sure if what we're experiencing is because of menopause or is it because we're just growing older. And of course, menopause happens to people not only when they are growing older, but also because of changes in the body due to reasons like cancer or elective surgery, removal of the ovaries, etc. Ask for help from your family members. Ask for help from your peers. Ask for help from your community. Ask for help from your healthcare providers, your primary care physician, your dentist, your gynecologist, your functional doctor. Ask for help from some of these folks or from all of them. Ask, ask, ask. And I know I say that all the time. I say, well, ask for support. Again, there's so much happening during this time, during this process, during this period to your body. A lot of it seems very confusing because your body is going through a process that it's never gone through before. So everything seems new, and everything new can be alarming and can be a bit frightening or concerning depending on who you are. So some people may not be frightened, they may be concerned and they take their concerns to medical professionals. Some people get scared and still don't go to the doctor. They still don't seek out help. They still don't seek out support from anyone. They just sort of hide what their feelings are and keep it close. And we know that there is a historical context to that and why people do that because of the shame and the stigmas and the taboos associated with sharing and talking about this rite of passage that's been long shrouded by society. So it's up to you to step into that space and ask for support. Ask for the support that you need. No shame, no worry. I mean, being ashamed of menopause is like being ashamed of puberty or being ashamed of going through a pregnancy. And we know that shame has been attached to every rite of passage, but picture you being shamed because you're pregnant. I was shamed because I was pregnant at 19 years old. I had my daughter at 19, so I was pregnant at 18. People get shamed because they are single parents. People get shamed because they are parents later in life. People get shamed for all kinds of reasons because we've been taught to be ashamed. And there is this way that society says we are supposed to exist. And we all don't exist within that matrix. Some of us are outside of the matrix living and experience our lives very differently and want to continue to experience our lives differently. So release expectations. I learned a long time ago if you want to be disappointed, have expectations. And yet, as human beings, it is hard for us to release expectations. I have learned many lessons over and over and over about having expectations and gotten hurt and gotten disappointed and have been disappointed over and over and over because I have expectations that I had no business having. Expectations from all kinds of people, expectations from my parents, expectations from my husband, expectations from my children, expectations from my friends. I even have expectations from myself. And when things don't work out, I am very disappointed. And so when I started going through perimenopause, that was when I was 38 years old and realized what was going on, I spoke to my grandmother and my mom. My grandmother did not, according to her, and I'm sure you've heard this many times before because I've shared it. According to her, she never had any menopausal symptoms like these exacerbated symptoms that a lot of people have, these extensive and extreme symptoms that a lot of people have. She doesn't recall having any of it, not experiencing any of those things. And so I thought to myself, hey, girl, you got a chance. There is a chance that you're going to go through this like your grandmother. Even though I knew having an expectation like that would disappoint me, I still kind of held on to it real tight. If my grandmother says she didn't have it, then chances are you may not either. On the other hand, my mom had hot flashes and a slew of other symptoms accompanying her menopausal journey. And I didn't want that for myself. And I know there's a genetic component there. And so I'm like leaning mentally, affirmatively on the side of my grandmother, hoping like, you're gonna take after your grandmother. Like I got her hands, I've got her toes. And I thought, well, you might have her experience with menopause. No, it didn't happen. And yes, I was disappointed because I have hot flashes and I have some sleepless nights and I am experiencing altered spatial awareness and I have heart palpitations and I have headaches. And there are other things that I experience that are minor, but yet I'm experiencing some of the menopausal symptoms that are very common to other people. And so release expectations, just allow the process to unfold. Allow it to happen. And as it happens, be in awareness, back to acceptance, back to action. Be in awareness as it unfolds. There is no sense in riling yourself up about an outcome that you have no idea of and cannot predict. Release expectations and allow, and you are likely to save yourself some disappointment. And last but not least is be optimistic. Think positively. With all the talk, I know you've heard a lot, good things, a lot of bad things about the menopausal experience. Most people dread entering the menopausal phase. That's because we've been met with nothing but horror stories. I never had anyone say to me, well, menopause can be complicated, can have a complex set of issues. You're going to be hot. But there are other positive outcomes accompanying this stage that you need to lean into, as opposed to everything is all doom and gloom. And when you enter that stage, it's apocalyptic and it's something that you don't even want to experience. That's what most people hear about menopause that makes them so leery, makes them so apprehensive about approaching that stage. And when people do talk about menopause, it's about all the bad things that happen, all of the challenging symptoms, all of the unpleasant symptoms, all of the unpleasantness of menopause is what we hear about. Focus on the positive things that can happen. There's no more period, no more pads to buy, no more bleeding a third of the month, no more cramps, no more back pains, right? And this is for people who are menopausal or postmenopausal, right? I know the perimenopausal process can have all of those things that I just talked about, cramps and pains and buying pads because you're not there yet. But once you hit the menopausal, postmenopausal process, all of that is finished. So there is a lot of good to look forward to. There are a lot of resources out there to support you. So if you're thinking, oh, my sex drive is low and oh, I have a low libido, there are things out there that can help you. If you think about vaginal dryness, there are things out there that can help you. Right? If you think about putting on weight around your tummy, or you think about dry eyes or dry skin, there are things out there that can help you. There are things out there that can help you through all of what you're going through. Natural, synthetic, something for everybody. So know where you stand on the spectrum, know what your ethos is, and go out there. There are lots of resources to support you. There are a lot of people out there to support you as well. So be optimistic. Start thinking of how you can exist within this space and this time of your life, which is a blessing. Think of how you can show up. Think of the things that you can do. Be creative. Do things that will support you, support your creativity, support your body so that you can thrive. And that, my friends, is where you go back up the list and think about all the things you can do that can help you to be optimistic, like practicing AAA, practicing self care, seeking support, releasing expectations. Those are optimistic practices. Lean into those. And there are many ways that you can be optimistic. Sink yourself into joyful things. Sink yourself into creative things. Sink yourself into your purpose. Sink yourself into community and thrive. Know what works for your body, and what works for your body may not work for my body or someone else's body. If you like HRT and that's what works for you, go get HRT. If you like Ayurveda and Ayurveda works for you, go get it. If you like TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, and that works for you, go for it. If you're from the Caribbean and bush medicine works, go get the bush medicine. Whatever works for you is what you do. But I want to encourage you while you're doing whatever you think works for you to talk to your healthcare provider. And so your healthcare provider may be a traditional doctor or it may be a functional doctor, whichever, maybe both. Some people have a functional doctor and they have a traditional Western doctor, whichever. Talk to them about what you should be doing, things that you can do to alleviate pain and suffering. Think of them as partners. And I know a lot of people have been jaded by the healthcare system and healthcare providers and partners because they've not been true partners. They've not been proactive in the menopausal process and transition with their patients. Patients have had to navigate this by themselves without the help of their care providers. And so I know many people have been told horrible things about their bodies and the process. Regardless of what you've been told, times are changing, things are changing, people are changing. There is more awareness in the medical community. And I know there is a long way to go, especially for Black women in every sector when it comes to our health and our wellness. There is disparity everywhere you go. So the suffering is there. I am aware of it. I know that it's happening. I talk to people who are suffering through the process, who are miserable through the process. I understand why that is because of how you're feeling. Your symptoms may be extreme symptoms, and you have no one to turn to. But you can help to alleviate some of that suffering by practicing these 5 things. Practicing AAA, awareness, acceptance, and action. Practicing self care, seeking support, releasing expectations, and being optimistic. So, there you have it, a little bit more information and my deeper thoughts about how to alleviate some of the suffering that we are experiencing. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and Stitcher, among others. You can also listen on thepausepod.com. Also, sign up for the newsletter. You will be notified every time a new episode drops. Thank you again so much for listening. Please like, comment, share, and also leave a review. I'm Dixie Lincoln Nichols, and as always, let's perimenopause and prosper.